Hello everyone, welcome to my first official YouTube video. I'm gonna give this thing a try. I want this channel to be about One Piece and anime in general, mainly One Piece. So today for the first video, we're gonna be talking about who, in my opinion, is the top 10 strongest characters as of currently. As of right now, it is July 6, 2022. The last manga chapter release was chapter 1053. We are currently in the month-long break that Oda has taken to prepare for the final saga. Now, the reason I specify the date, for manga readers, you will know, Luffy right now is all over the place. A couple months ago, he was somewhere. Right now, he's made some jumps. Who knows where he's going to be in a few months. So for that, remember, 1053, latest chapter. Now, getting into the top 10. We're going to start with number 10. Number 10, I have a tie between Admiral Kizaru and former Admiral Kuzan, aka Aokiji. Let's start with Aokiji. Aokiji, the former Admiral, introduced in Long Ring Long Island. He showed us then and there what he's capable of. Took down all of the Straw Hats with relative ease. Was no competition. At Marineford, he had a great showing, even though, yes, we know he was holding back. Kizaru was holding back. Most of the Admirals were holding back. But we were still able to get a taste of what Kuzan is truly capable of. Not only that, but just his respect throughout the series from other characters, such as Akainu, Kizaru, the Gorosei. Doflamingo didn't want to fight him. He didn't want any of that smoke. We know Aokiji is a top tier, but he hasn't shown us anything crazy yet. So far, his biggest feat, in my opinion, is going 10 days with Akainu. We know Akainu's up there, and he went 10 days, extreme difficulty fight, so he's definitely got to make the top 10. Now, Kizaru. Kizaru, in my opinion, if I had to give it to one, I would put Kizaru slightly ahead of Kuzan. The reason I would do that is because One Piece has a lot of giving us villains in order, and with the Admirals, it seems to be a very clear pattern. With introduction, it was always Kuzan, Kizaru, Akainu. With how impressive they were throughout their introductions, same order. Marineford, who was the first to go into the fight, Kuzan. After that, Kizaru. After that, Akainu, who fought Jozu. Kuzan, who fought Marco. Kizaru, who fought the big man himself, Akainu. So I know it's not real evidence, but if I had to give it to him, I would give it to Kizaru. Kizaru, we saw his introduction, smoked half the supernova, super easy, no difficulty at all. Went toe-to-toe with Whitebeard at Marineford, went toe-to-toe with Marco, didn't really break a sweat. He's up there. We know how strong Kizaru is. Now, number 8. Number 8 is the right-hand man of Yonko Shanks, Ben Beckman. Now, this one is a bit different, because this one, we don't know too much about Beckman. We haven't seen much of him. All we know is that in SBS, he was said to be comparable to his captain. He is the moon to Shanks' son. He pulled up to Marineford, aimed a gun at Kizaru. Kizaru didn't want any of that. Now, some people will say he was trolling. Some people will say he didn't want any of it at the moment. Some people will say he was just having fun. But bottom line, Beckman is respected across the New World. He's respected by the Admirals. He's respected by all the top tiers. And he is still being saved. And I think he's being saved for a reason, along with the rest of that crew. And we'll get to that later. Now, at number 8, we have Yonko, or should I say former Yonko, Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin herself. We saw what she was capable of in Whole Cake Island. With her, it's mostly about her defensive capabilities. I think that's where she shines. Capone couldn't get to her. Luffy couldn't get to her. Even in Gear 4, coated with armor and hockey, she just blasts that shit off. We saw on the roof, 5v2, we saw what she's capable of, her attacks. She hung with Kaido for 3 days, although personally I don't think it was a serious fight since none of them had scars. But Big Mom has always shown to be an absolute top tier and live up to that Yonko name. So she's got to be up there. Number 7, we have Blackbeard himself, Marshall D. Teach. Now with Blackbeard at 7, this one, let me just say, Blackbeard is a very interesting character. He could be anywhere right now. He could be number 1, he could be number 7, he could be anywhere in between. We haven't seen him in a while. We don't even know how many fruits he has. We don't know what he's up to. His growth rate is just as fast as Luffy's, so you can only assume he's growing as fast as Luffy. But as of recently, we've seen Luffy's probably his biggest jump in the entire series with Gear 5. So for me, he's not as strong as Gear 5 Luffy just yet, but if we get something like maybe he fights Shanks or he gets a third Devil Fruit or something along those lines, once we find out just a little bit more about Blackbeard, I will be a lot more comfortable putting him higher in this list. But as of right now, I have him at 7. Most of what we've seen from him are pre-time skip. We've seen him at Marineford. We've seen him. He wasn't a Yonko level. He went toe-to-toe with Whitebeard and got dealt with quick. He was very strong, though. He took care of Luffy at Impel Down. He fought Ace, beat Ace. I wouldn't say it was too hard of a fight for him for what we've seen. He took care of Ace pretty quickly. And, yeah, he ran away from Akainu, but since then, he's gotten the Gurugura. And he's had 2 years to learn how to use the Gurugura and 2 years to learn how to use the Yami Yami, because most people forget that was a new fruit for him, too. So now he's had 2 years to learn how to use those two, and he could potentially get a third fruit. And if he does, I think he's number 1, no doubt, without a doubt. And I do think he's going to fight Shanks down the line, and that will give us a good hint at how strong he is. Next, number 6, we have the Fleet Admiral himself, Akainu, a.k.a. Sakazuki. Now, this guy, what can we say about Sakazuki? I mean, we saw what he's capable of at Marineford. I think there's no arguments that he is the strongest Admiral. That's why he became Fleet Admiral. He is the only top tier in the series, aside from Luffy, to defeat another top tier, going 10 days with Kuzan and beating him in the fight. He went toe-to-toe with Whitebeard, although I think Whitebeard got him at the end. I think Whitebeard dealt with him, but he still went toe-to-toe with Whitebeard. He blew half his face off. He took care of the commanders at Marineford, and if there's one thing Akainu has, this guy has tenacity. This guy does not give up. He's almost like the villain version of Luffy, where he sets his goal and he is not going to stop at anything until he achieves that goal. Unfortunately, his goal is killing pirates, so him and Luffy might meet up again one day. Who knows? Number 5, we have the world's strongest swordsman, Dracula Mihawk. Introduced very early on in Baratier, we knew right away with this guy, he's going to be a top tier. He's going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the entire story. From his introduction, he's been one of my absolute favorite characters. The peak of swordsmanship in this series, Roronoa Zoro's ultimate goal, Dracula Mihawk, the only man alive currently in possession of a black blade. And in the latest, actually, in the Road to Laugh Tale, the latest one we got, it says that Yoru is actually the strongest Supreme Grade sword, standing out alone. So it's not just one of the Supreme Grade swords. It is the strongest one, is the new information that we got. So he is in possession of the strongest sword, the only black blade. He is the world's strongest swordsman. What else is there to say about this guy? I think he's also being saved for a reason. I think he holds back a lot in fights, so we can't really scale him too much from what we've seen at Marineford. He did ask Vista for a break. We know that. He fought with Vista. He didn't want to fight Shanks. He didn't really try too much at Marineford. I know some people are going to say he gave his all against Luffy, like he said, but come on. If the world's strongest swordsman, Dracula Mihawk, was really trying to kill a pre-time skip Luffy with Gear 3 at best, I think he would have done it in minutes, if not seconds. But that's his personality. We're still waiting to see more from him, just like some others. So on to number 4. Number 4, we have the recently fallen top Yonko, the so-called strongest creature in the world, Kaido, King of the Beasts. Now, let me just make one thing clear. With Whitebeard, we knew he was the world's strongest man. We had the Oda box. It was clear as day. It was a fact. With Mihawk, we know he is the world's strongest swordsman. Oda box on his introduction, straight up fact. Kaido, he was never straight up told to be the strongest anything. Again, I'm not saying he is not. I'm not saying he never was, although that's what I think. I'm just saying that if you go back at any single time mentioned, it is said that he is the world's strongest creature. It is said, and we don't even know what they mean by creature. But again, not taken away from him, this guy's an absolute beast. As you can see, I have him at number 4. Went toe-to-toe with Luffy with Gear 5, Sun God Nika, Monkey D. Luffy went toe-to-toe. Some people said he still had the upper hand even after that. He fought the Scabbards, the 9 Scabbards. He fought the 5 Supernova, Kid, Law, Zoro, Killer, Luffy. He fought Yamato. He beat Luffy, fought Yamato, beat Luffy again, damn near killed Luffy basically, and fought a Gear 5 Luffy. All of this while holding up an island. Again, earlier that arc, he went toe-to-toe with Charlotte Linlin, fought for 3 days, not a scratch from either of them. He's shown us Future Sight, he's shown us Devil Fruit, although it has not been said, I believe, that his dragon form is his awakening, but who knows. But as of right now, he's down anyway, so I don't think they're going to tell us in the future. So I'm just going to assume for myself that his dragon form was his awakening and that he was really a fish in the beginning. Climbed up the mountain, all that, if you know about that. Anyways, yeah, he's pretty much the perfect fighter as a combatant. He has everything that there is that's been introduced so far. Kaido, King of the Beast. Most people think he's the strongest. I think he's top 4, definitely. Although we don't even know if he's alive anymore. But yeah. Number 3. Drum roll. Number 3, we have the main character, Monkey D. Luffy himself. Again, this is why I brought up, as of July 6, 2022, chapter 1053, before we come back from the month-long break. Monkey D. Luffy is an absolute top tier. Monkey D. Luffy is top 5 without a doubt. Monkey D. Luffy has his Devil Fruit. Let me say, one of the best Devil Fruits in the series that we know now, if not the best Devil Fruit in the series. Personally, I still think Law has the best Devil Fruit, but Luffy's is definitely up there. He has Devil Fruit Awakening. He has Conqueror's Haki. He has Advanced Conqueror's Haki. He has Armament Haki. He has Advanced Armament Haki. Ryo. He has Observation Haki. He has Advanced Observation Haki. Future Sight. He has everything that there is to have as a fighter right now in One Piece. Luffy has it. Kaido and Luffy so far are the best fighters in terms of feats that we've seen, aside from Whitebeard at Marineford. These guys have everything. On paper, they have everything. Luffy was able to go toe-to-toe with Kaido himself on the roof, 1v1. Both of them advanced Haki, splitting the skies. Anything you could think of. Luffy has done it. Luffy's there. He's growing. He said himself, this is his peak. But I believe he still has more to go. Maybe not in terms of power-ups, but in terms of mastering the power-ups that he's already had. So I'm looking forward to that. We still got a lot more to see from Luffy, and until we do right now, I have him above Blackbeard, I have him above Akainu, Mihawk, Kaido, all of them. I know that may bother some people, but that's the confidence I have in our main character right now. Now, number 2. So we just talked about Monkey D. Luffy. Now we're going to talk about Monkey D. Dragon, his father. The dad is here. Again, I'm a big believer, especially in shonen, anime, and manga. Now, when a character is introduced very early on, as early as Dragon, and someone else I'm going to talk about next, and saved for over 1,000 chapters, we have not seen anything from him. Nothing fighting-wise. We don't even know if he has a Devil Fruit. We don't know if he has Haki. We don't know anything. Oda is still saving him after 20 years. And because of this reason, along with his portrayal, his immense portrayal in the story, the most dangerous man, the highest bounty in the story. We don't know his bounty yet, but we know he's the most wanted man, so he has to have the highest bounty of anybody alive. Monkey D. Dragon. And for this reason, I have him at number 2. There's not much we can talk about in terms of what he's done, but there's a lot we can talk about in terms of his portrayal, his relationship to Luffy, and we all know what shonen main character fathers are like. We've seen Minato, Gin, all of them we've seen. And yeah, I got my hopes that Dragon is going to be an absolute monster and the strongest as of right now, except for this one man. Which brings us to number 1, the strongest character in One Piece. Something I felt very passionate about since day 1. Absolutely no doubt in my mind that he's the strongest. Like, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. I've never thought anyone else could be stronger. Number 1, red-haired Shanks. He is a Yonko. He is Luffy's, like, not father figure, what's the word? He is Luffy's mentor or inspiration. The man who was the reason Monkey D. Luffy, the main character, became a pirate. His journey would not be happening if it wasn't for Shanks. The man that gave Luffy the straw hat. The man that Roger gave the straw hat to. Think about that. What Shanks sees in Luffy, Roger saw in Shanks. And what Luffy, the way Luffy sees Shanks, Shanks saw Roger. there's a connection there. He is the middleman. Now, I know he's not Pirate King. He's not going to be Pirate King, but he doesn't want to be Pirate King. But he is narratively the middleman between Roger of his generation and Luffy of his generation. This man pulls up to Marineford in front of everybody. Sengoku, Garp, Akainu, Mihawk, you name it, Kizaru, all the Admirals, you name it. And what does he do? Pulls out his sword and simply says, no more fighting. If you wish to fight, fight us. And what happens? Everybody stops fighting. Now, if you look before that, you had Luffy and you had Kobe. What did Luffy want to do? Luffy wanted to protect the people he cared about. What did Kobe want to do? Kobe wanted the fight to stop. He stood in front of Akainu, he said those words, and no one listened because he was weak. Shanks comes in, he wants to protect people, he wants to stop a war. He says the exact same thing Kobe says, except he pulls out his sword and he backs it up with his strength. And what happens? Everybody listens. Every single person there listens. This man comes to visit Whitebeard, knocks out half his crew. Yonko crew, might I add. Yonko crew knocks out half the crew, pulls a feat that we have not seen from anyone else to this day, and physically damages a Yonko ship with his Conqueror's Haki. To this day, the best we've seen aside from Shanks is Advanced Conqueror's Haki, but we've never seen someone cause physical damage with Conqueror's Haki. He does it. Then he splits the sky. He introduces splitting the sky. He is the man that introduced Conqueror's Haki itself. He's got it all. He's dueled with Mihawk a bunch in the past. From what we know, they've drawn a bunch of times, but he's gotten stronger since. He's become a Yonko. He is, in my opinion, the most confident man in the sea. It's like that saying they always say, it's the quiet ones you gotta look out for. And I think this is a perfect way to describe Shanks. Because you have all these guys, you have Blackbeard flexing, you got Luffy flexing, you got Kaido saying he's the strongest everywhere, everyone calling him the strongest. And then you just have this one quiet man with one arm, a normal, regular human being, normal size, no devil fruit, pacifist, does not enjoy fighting, and he's got a devil fruit, a bounty as high as Kaido and Big Mom, and he doesn't even cause trouble. And he's a newer Yonko than them. He's only been a Yonko for 6 years. They've been a Yonko for decades for all we know. I think that says a lot about Shanks. Not to mention, he's been introduced in Chapter 1. Right when Luffy was introduced, Shanks was introduced right there, right after him, the next page. And we still have not seen him fight. This is a shonen. If you don't think that means anything, I don't know what to tell you. This man, Red Hair Shanks, has to be, in my opinion, the strongest man as of right now. He told Luffy in the first chapter, when you become a great pirate, return that hat to me. Luffy has beaten Kaido. He's fought a lot of people. He has Gear 5. He has Advanced Conqueror's Haki, advanced all forms of Haki, Awakening, everything. And he still has not met up with Shanks yet. Is he ready for Shanks? That's a different story. But narratively, Shanks is still being saved as Luffy has gone through all these people. I think that's evidence enough that this man sits at the top of the mountain, Red Hair Shanks. So that's going to do it for my first video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please like the video, leave a comment, and let me know. Please comment down below. Let me know what other type of videos you would like, because I don't want this to be only power scaling. It could be anything. Power scaling, discussions, theories, analysis. I'm just here to talk One Piece and talk anime. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know down below what else you would like to see. Let me know your top 10. Let me know what you agreed with and what you didn't agree with, who you would change, who you would add. Let me know all that down below. Thanks, guys.